If you've been researching on becoming a signing agent, you're gonna wanna watch this video because we're gonna answer probably the biggest question you have as you've been researching becoming a signing agent. So my guess is you've come across the phrase NNA certified. My guess is you've heard the NNA certification. My guess you've heard you have to renew every single year. So let's just start with the NNA certification. This lady needs very little introduction. We are here at the NNA with Susie. What's going on, girl?
How you doing, Mark?
Good, good, good. Well, I wanted to come straight to the source.
Okay.
Because if you're watching this video, like I just said, my guess is you've come across the phrase NNA certified. My guess is you've heard the NNA certification. My guess you've heard you have to renew every single year. So let's just start with the NNA certification.
NNA certification. We call it that because the NNA is the one that offers it. We're kind of the vessel. But it all started with the SPW, the Signing Professionals Work Group, that got together and was formed after the big 2008 crash. So when it came to working with notary signing agents, they said, we need to step it up. We need to make sure that anybody we're sending to a signing, handling loan documents, going into someone's home, has been background checked. And we have to make sure they know what they're doing.
Cool.
And so from that, the SPW worked with the National Notary Association, and that's where this certification requirement was born.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit.
Okay.
So it's really not the NNA certification. You're the vessel for the SPW. Who is they you speak of?
Okay, so Fidelity Title, First American, Notary Go, Westcor, Closing Exchange, Amrock, Boston National Title, Mortgage Connect, et cetera, all the big ones basically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you've been researching, you've probably heard that you need to renew your NNA certification every year. You've probably been reading on different blogs. You got to take the exam again. What is the reason behind taking the exam again year after year after year?
Very good question. You know, almost every profession requires some kind of continuing education. In this case, we want to make sure that, and the banks want to make sure our notaries continue to understand what's required of them. And so by taking this yearly test, it just helps them check in with these professionals, these notary signing agents that they're contracting with, to say, are you still up on your knowledge? Are you still competent? And by the way, the test is open book. Yeah. So it's a lot about not necessarily memorizing, but just being competent enough to know, oh yes, I need to go back and revisit this particular guideline or principle so that I feel fresh and ready for the next signing.
Which I think is an important distinction because that's why it's yearly required. The SPW is requiring it, not necessarily the NNA specifically.
True. Of course, the National Notary Association supports it because we believe very much in education and the best standards of care. But yes, it is something that came from the banks and financial institutions and just wanting to protect the consumers.
And so what I'm hearing is, the certification is kind of living and breathing from the standpoint, like questions could change. There might be 2 years where nothing changes, but in your third year of being a signing agent, there might be X amount of new laws because everything's constantly changing. Because if you're just trying to be a notary and you're watching this video and just being a general notary work, it's not about being NNA certified. But if you're going to be a signing agent, all these huge title companies and lenders want to make sure you're up to knowledge, and it shouldn't be assumed that the exam is going to be the exact same year after year.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is something that we kind of check into every year to see if any changes do need to be made, if any of the industry standards have been updated.
The NNA certification really covers more behavioral aspects that is expected from a signing agent.
It's around behavior, it's around knowledge and education, it's around understanding what the legal requirements are. I mean, if you think about it, Mark, if you were to invite a notary into your home to support you as you're getting ready to purchase a home, you want somebody that is safe, that doesn't have a criminal background.
Hence the background check.
Yes, exactly. And then also someone who knows how to handle the documents, knows how to accurately get those signatures, initials, dates, notarizations taken care of so that the exchange, the transaction goes well and you can feel at peace with what you're doing.
I mean, as far as industries being specific, I'd say it's a really low yearly renewal rate. And I think what's important for us to remember as signing agents is that, we are professionals. While this is a very easy business to enter because the lack of barrier to entry is very minimal, having it something that the banks and lenders can be assured the laws, the rules, the regulations, because what's crazy is pre-2008, there was like zero vetting.
How did we ever think that was okay, right?
Seriously, right? And so it's cool how the industry is evolving, just making sure that the standards are there. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, you know, back when I started in 2004, many states didn't even have any notary laws. And so, of course, the National Notary Association wrote up that Notary Public Code of Professional Responsibility to say, you know, when the laws fall short, when there isn't a law in your state to specify what you should be doing as the notary, we're going to give you these standards of care. And so those were kind of basic notary standards, and then the SPW stepped in with the NNA to create these standards for signing agents.
What I want to touch on kind of as we're exiting this, I think this has been super enlightening, is there's a difference between NNA certified and having an NNA certification. SnapDocs should be NNA certified. I know Fidelity wants you to be NNA certified. So let's kind of go into the little nuances here, because there's a few nuances, but you could pass your NFA certification but not be NNA certified.
Yes, so let me clarify.
Yes.
Okay, to become a part of signingagent.com, all that is required is that background screening, right? But you do have the option of taking that test, and that's where we say, okay, you've got that certification now. Not only have you passed a background screening so that you're safe to go in the homes, you've got that certification because you passed that test. Now you're competent when it comes to handling your loan work.
Let me jump in. So when you pass the background check, which to your point now lets the homeowner know that they've passed a certain level of vetting on the background. And we're gonna do another video on what the background check requires. Click that button there. But we're gonna cover that in another video. But if you pass the background check and the certification, now you're NNA certified. So if you're wondering what NNA certified means, it's technically passing the background check and passing the NNA certification.
And passing that certification.
And again, the NNA certification is awesome because it is open book, right? So it's just making sure you have a basic understanding of, you know, what's expected as far as a professional outlook of a notary signing agent.
Right.
And so I think for $70, you know, all things considering, it's really, really inexpensive to keep that certification.
And let me just also remind everybody that this is a part of developing your business, and so it is a tax write-off, right?
And
then also just the benefit of being on signingagent.com, while it is a verification platform that our industry leaders use, it's also a directory where people can find you. And so just one more quick tip, background screening gets you on signingagent.com. Passing the test to be certified gets you a little higher up on that listing in signingagent.com. And then if you also take the training, then you're up a little higher. So getting all those check marks will just prioritize you to the companies who are looking for you. And it's not something that you can buy, it's something you have to earn.
Yes. And we did an amazing piece of content on signingagent.com. Look at that video because that's been an amazing deep dive into it. But again, this video is more of really distinguishing, what they should expect when they become NNA certified for $70. It's why they're doing it for a year. And I always promote you guys are the best training for notary training in America, period, end of story, in my humble opinion. But no, thank you for spending some time with me today. What I want to conclude with is it isn't necessarily the NNA who's requiring the yearly, right? It's the SPW, it's the Fidelities, it's the continuing education aspect that they want.
And I just want to say, you know, sometimes we are begrudged when we have to take that test again or do that background screening again. But I want to encourage all of you as notaries to take pride in your profession, getting training and studying and learning and keeping up with their state's laws and staying connected with the title companies and lenders they work with to make sure they are providing the best service and protecting the American dream.
I love it. I thank you so much. I'm so excited about the friendship LSS and the NNA have.
I just want to thank you, Mark, and LSS for always keeping our notary community informed. You know, you're always hearing the inside scoop, and you're always letting us know that, you know, some of the questions that are out there for these notaries who are trying to get started or take it to the next level. So thanks for all you do.
I'll give you a high five on that.
High five.
If you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate to comment below. I'll have Susie and her team look at those. I'll try to answer the best of my knowledge. And of course, like always, if you liked what you just watched, you need more tips and tricks on how to build a notary signing agent business, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel.